What's good, YouTube?
It's your girl, Cymphany.
It's your boy, Jordan. And we back with another movie. Alright, anyways. So, today we're reacting to somebody who wants to be a microwave. I've seen some weird stuff in my life, but I never heard no woman say, I just want to get pregnant for random strangers. That's just me, though.
She's a surrogate.
Right. Go ahead, put it on the screen.
I love being pregnant so much that I gave birth to a stranger's baby.
She came to me and said, I miss being pregnant and I miss labor. I thought she was crazy.
We met a couple on Facebook. Our desires aligned. We liked the same football team. Yes, this is perfect.
We've had quite a few different comments made to us online. Oh, as a Christian, you can't be a surrogate.
Stop trying to play God, or these people aren't meant to have a child.
Okay. So, my question for you.
Right. I'm listening 100%. Yeah.
You know, is that something that goes against, the C word?
No. Don't, we don't censor that word around here. Say that word.
Christianity.
What's wrong with you? The C word. You're over here saying surrogate, but you understand. But now Christianity has to get censored.
Because I personally have never really heard anyone speak on something like that before, like in church, So is being a surrogate, is that something biblically incorrect?
Yeah. Me personally, I'm just here to collect my YouTube checks.
This is what I'm gonna ask you.
I'm just here to collect my YouTube checks, and I'm here to state my opinion to an extent, collect my YouTube checks, and move on with my life. That is exactly what my
Don't make me go get that.
This video gonna be longer than it need to be. If that's the case, I mean, shoot. I ain't got nothing but time, sis. You know what I'm saying? It's only 10 o'clock, 10:43. That's what you want to do. However,
okay, fine. I'll take my question back then, since you don't want to freaking answer it. If you had it, okay.
It's just like you got people out here saying they could talk to spirits and saying they could talk to the dead and talk to your ancestors and talk to your family members and talk to who passed and who died and stuff like that. I'm not downplaying that. I feel like certain things, I feel like those type of things are true. I feel like, yes, you have the abilities. What the problem with mankind is, and this is nothing religion, because religion is what the problem of the world is. It's not really like the beliefs that are the problem. It's just the religion. When you get talking about religion, that's what the problem is. The problem with mankind, because that's how I can label it worldwide easier. We feel like if we have the ability to do things, we should be doing those things. If you see what I'm trying to say. What I feel like is when you're doing certain things, when you do certain things, it comes with the price, it comes with the consequence, and that's what seems to be the thing that gets ignored the most. Everybody just wants the result, but nobody wants to pay attention to the consequence. When you quote-unquote sit here talking to spirits, or when you quote-unquote sit here talking to your dead auntie, your dead cousin, Auntie Cheryl, whoever it is, your grandma, your mother, whoever, I feel like doing things like that, I get it, it gives you a momentary comfort, but you don't realize the other spirits that are lurking as well. You see what I'm saying? You messing with doors that you should not have. You're not even well equipped to deal with those things. You're not. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Christianity is really based off of power. We preach that praying is power, believing in Jesus, saying the name of Jesus is power, and this and that and third, but y'all be bringing demons onto yourself and y'all don't realize it, bro. A lot of y'all think demons is just this little cartoon character with red, you know what I'm saying? And y'all think demons is just a joke that you can just handle by yourself, but these demons, they will get you, bro. You not built like that. You're not. You're opening doors that you have no problems messing with. Now back to the main subject at hand. You're messing with spirits again. Everything, you know what I'm saying, it revolves around spirits. When I have sex with you, you're taking my spirits along with whoever it was in my past that I've had sex with. You realize that, right? It's even worse for a man. I mean, it's even worse for a female because I have to go inside of you. You see what I'm saying? You're not really going inside of me. That would be weird. I'm going inside of you. You see what I'm saying? So now, if you're just out here taking in strangers on strangers, you see what I'm saying? There was no connection built with it, first of all. In order to, quote unquote, have sex in the first place and do stuff like that, I mean, you know, or give birth, you have to have some type of, you know, some type of intercourse. You see what I'm saying?
Not if you're a surrogate.
Well, it still, in order for when I say intercourse, intercourse is just clearly, it's not just limited to sex. You see what I'm saying? You're kind of bending the rules, and you're skipping all those steps to get to the final step, and you're ruining the ritual of, you know, I find somebody that I love, I get married, and then, okay, boom, I have a baby. You see what I'm saying? It's way different than, you know, having a baby before marriage or having sex before marriage. You legit, like, this ain't even somebody who you really have no type of connection with. You see what I'm saying? You just accepting anybody in. That's what happened to the woman's body being a temple. What happened to the woman, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to a lot of women, like, to base themselves, like, they're the prize, they're the this and they're the that. Like, women are the goal, you know what I'm saying? Everything else doesn't matter. And if that's the case, do you really still feel like a high-value woman if you're just having anybody's baby? Me personally, I can't be okay with something like that. You're letting other people's spirits, whatever it is that they deal with, you know what I'm saying, everything surrounding them, their aura, whatever y'all call it in your own religion, your chakras, your auras, you know what I'm saying, your luck, your bad luck, whatever you want to call it. You're letting all those things get inside you. You see what I'm saying?
So if I wasn't able to have kids,
right,
what would you have done?
That's life.
So basically, if I couldn't have kids, that's it. Like
adoption.
Like not sitting there and going to a doctor and trying to see what methods we can like discover for me to have kids.
No.
But you're okay with adopting. Okay.
I have to live with that for the rest of my life. I'm letting that in for the rest of my life. I just feel like there are certain doors that shouldn't be touched no matter what the reason is. Cymphany, my rules are so strict. If I had the ability right now, if God bless me, the only person in the world with the ability to bring people back to life, I wouldn't use it. Because then what are you doing? You're playing God. The door was shut for a reason by God. Here you are because you feel special. You're bending the rules. Things are the way they are for a reason sometimes. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't say it in a way to, like, satanize everybody or satanize everything. But what I'm saying is sometimes you do things because you feel like you have a legitimate reason and you end up paying for it your whole life. And you don't realize because you think what you did was a good thing. Mm-hmm. If I could bring back to life such and such, I'm not saying any names, you know what I'm saying? And I did it because I felt like it made me feel better. It would make everybody happy. What else came with that? What else will follow me for the rest of my life? When you take a life, stuff like that follows you for the rest of your life. You can't sleep properly. If you ain't no killer, like if that's not a natural thing to you, that's gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. Things like that, it's gonna sit in your mind. But hey, you know,
compensation is anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000. People have things to say about it, like, oh, money bags, or oh, they're doing it for the money. My name is Samantha.
And I'm Dan.
And we are content creators and parents of 2. Good morning, guys. We've been married for 9 years in January, and we've been together for about 12.
We've got 2 kids. Their names are Canyon, he is 6, and Ember is our little girl, she's 4.
I did enjoy pregnancy and labor with both of our kids. I felt like my body handled it well, didn't get sick a lot, and with labor, oddly enough, I enjoyed it. I told Dan like 2 weeks after I had Canyon, hey, I kind of missed labor. And then after we had Ember, we're like, we're done. We have our boy, we have our girl, but I still had that desire to be pregnant and to deliver, but not have our own baby, which is how the thought of surrogacy came about.
We definitely enjoyed our 2 kiddos, but 2 is enough for us.
Yeah.
And when she came to me and said, I miss being pregnant and I miss labor, I thought she was crazy.
I gathered some more information and brought it up to Dan. Remember how we talked about we don't want any more kids, but I want to become pregnant again. Let's do surrogacy.
When Sam first came to me with the idea of surrogacy, I was kind of taken back. I was like, what do you mean? You want to have a baby for somebody else?
So there's 2 different types of surrogacy. There's gestational and traditional. I was a gestational carrier, meaning the embryo does not consist of my egg. It does not consist of his sperm.
She explained to me, no, it's not our baby. We actually have their baby. We just carry it. And I was like, wow, still, that's a big deal.
When I first brought up surrogacy to our family, I think my mom was like, wait, you are going to do this? Wait, what? I think at this point in our life, no one's shocked by the things that we do. We've lived in an RV, we've moved across, the U.S. with our young kids, and so I think our family and friends just aren't, shocked by what we do now. In October of 2020, we met a couple on a Facebook match group, and our values aligned, our desires aligned. We liked the same football team, and so we were like, yes, this is perfect. So we drove up, met them, and we started the process. We were about to start a new med cycle when the intended parents contacted us, and they said, we're actually pregnant. We're 8 weeks pregnant, and if you're okay with it, we're gonna terminate contracts. So although our journey, in a sense got cut short, we, we're thrilled for them. After we shared our first surrogacy journey on social media, the second set of parents reached out to us on Instagram and wanted a match. My lining was 7.6. I was really nervous that it was going to drop. I'm excited. This pregnancy was a little bit different. With our 2 kids, I had no morning sickness. My pregnancy was super easy. This one, with it not being our baby, I felt a little bit more weight of responsibility of, okay, I want to do everything right. I don't want to do anything wrong.
Or leading up to transfer, I think the med cycle was probably one of the more emotional times throughout it. The fact that she had to go through that mentally, I think it was exhausting for her. And that was really difficult for me to watch her go through that.
I just passed out.
Just laying back like that for so long?
Yeah, for an hour. I had to adjust, and then I can't breathe with the freaking mask on. We didn't have any doubts throughout it. We were at complete peace that this was what we were supposed to do. So we delivered on July 27th of 2022, and it was an amazing experience. It happened so quickly that by the time I delivered, I'm like, wait, we're done. And I immediately turned to Dan and was like, babe, we did it. And it was just so exciting seeing them in that moment, full of tears and gratitude. They kind of had their moment while we had ours.
How did your children cope throughout the journey?
That was our biggest thing that we wanted to look into, was how to help with the transition with the kids after delivery. Throughout the process, we just reminded them, this is the baby's for their mommy and daddy. It's not ours. Baby's not coming home with us.
Is it a baby? Yeah.
That's the other thing. One of the reasons why I was like, okay, I don't want to have any more kids is because I don't know. I'm really big on not trying to be selfish, you know what I'm saying? And doing things because that's what you want to do. I get it that a lot of people just want to have kids or whatever. But what you forget to realize, you know what I'm saying? Well, it seems, I guess I'm the only person who feels that way or something. I don't know, but I'm really big on, I don't want my kids to feel neglected. And it's funny because people will have 7 kids and be like, yeah, I got to do whatever it takes for my kids so my kids never feel like I neglected them or whatever. But what you don't realize is even just having 2 kids alone, one of the kids will still always feel like, you did something wrong, or like you didn't give them enough time, or you didn't give them enough attention. You see what I'm saying? There are kids who or the only child and still feel neglected. But I don't know, it just feels worse for me. Like if one of my kids come to me, or Judah or Melody, I don't know, one of them just come to me, anybody just come to me and says, "Oh, you neglected me because you were paying so much time to such and such. You wasn't, you didn't really." I don't know, bro. Like I'm really big on that neglect thing, and so now I'm sitting here. You're sitting here having another child while having 2 of your own already. Like I get it. Like a child's not coming home with you, but pregnancy comes with some things. You know what I'm saying? Like as a man, you gotta watch your lady go through some things. Physically and on the inside. Mentally, whatever it is. You have to sit there beside that, bro. And I don't know, bro. Like I want my kids, like they have a right to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? The only way I feel like my kids should ever feel like I neglected them is if I was trying to bring home more money to give to them. That's the only way. That's just my philosophy. But I don't want to sit here and have XYZ amount of kids, you know what I'm saying? And I was so happy because I got the amount I asked God for, but then, I ended up hurting them in return. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't like, I because I've seen a lot of like stuff like that happen. Sometimes, I got some friends who their parents, you can tell their parents have been well off, you know what I'm saying, like credit score A1, it's been A1, like they've never, I don't want to say they've never struggled, but they look, at least upper middle class, you know what I'm saying? And like they've had their life in order. And we got this sibling, that sibling, and the other sibling, my little sister, you know what I'm saying? And you can kind of tell that one of those kids gets a little bit more attention than the other one. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Like that, I'm against that 100%. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's something wrong with that. But again, not a lot of people do. You want how many kids you want, and that's how many kids you're gonna go for. But think about it from the kid's perspective. Don't just be having these kids or whatever. Like always try to think about it like, how would I feel? You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in that baby that you're about to have. Put yourself in that kid's perspective and just think like, how are things looking right now? How would that child feel? You know what I'm saying? If I was a kid, don't just think logically from an adult, but like think of it like with a childlike mindset. How would it feel? You see what I'm saying? Because again, I always tell Cymphany, it don't matter how right you do things, how much you think you did things right, your kids are going to find fault with you. They're going to find fault with you. They're going to remember, be honest with you, your kids are going to remember what you did wrong more than what you did right. You know what I'm saying? Trials and tribulation is what reminds your kids what you did right. But if life is just moving ever so smoothly, bro, nah, it's going to be what you did wrong first. You see how it always plays out. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think, her doing this or her making this decision, how do you think that affects her too? How do you think that it affects the 2 that she already has?
I mean, they're definitely interested in like their mom being pregnant and things. Again, they're still kind of fairly young in a way. Not like, drastically young where it's like, oh, they're only like 2 and 1 or whatever, but they're still kind of young. One of them is 2, one of them is 3 or something, like, or whatever the age difference is. I mean, I was pregnant with Melody and I had Johan and I had Judah. Even just having Johan and then having Judah before we realized we were pregnant with Melody and all these things. So it's like, of course, was Johan excited? Yes. Apparently there were other feelings, that he had, that he just never really said to me. But, I tried to get it out of him, but whatever it was that quote unquote he said or however he felt when I asked, he didn't really say it to me. And the same thing even with having like Melody, you know, like he loves his brother and sister. He loves having siblings and things like that. But, you know, obviously for me, unfortunately for us, our circumstances are way different too. You know, to compare to these people. I mean, so I definitely understand it, but you know, a lot of the times when you really see people that are surrogates, they are just pretty much like single people, no kids, or if they are married, they have no kids, and they are the ones that actually do it.
Yeah.
You don't really see moms do it,
Right.
if that makes sense. So, you know, I never really seen it from this standpoint.
Yeah.
As far as you doing it for someone else, because again, you know, Judah was only what 6 months by the time I found out. When we found out, I was having like I was pregnant again.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it became a point where I couldn't, even with Johan, honestly, I can use Johan a lot more heftier because it became a point where I couldn't run around the house with him like that for real. Because I was too tired or whatever the case may be. You know, same thing with Judah. It became a point where I couldn't really, you know, extend myself out the way that I wanted to, you know. Even now with having Melody, there's only so much bending I can do. And you know, unfortunately, like, and then on top of that, not only that, I work now. So I'm already kind of like that already just put me at a point of where I'm separated from my kids altogether. At least I was still able to like go to my children or go to my son whenever he needed, or you know what I'm saying, be there for my son, for Johan and things like that. So, and now I can't do that because I'm working. So, you know, I just feel like it all depends on your circumstances. But at the end of the day, no matter what, your children are going to always find something wrong that you did or did not do, regardless. So, you know, you can feel like you can feel like you covered all the bases with your kids, but it doesn't always mean that you really did. Or they may feel like there was still something about you that were lacking, because at the end of the day, we're not all perfect parents in the first place. And that comes with you being pregnant or not being pregnant, you being a surrogate and you not being a surrogate. That's just really what it's like being a parent in general.
Yeah.
You're going to have places and aspects in your children's lives where they will feel like you lacked or that you didn't, you know, commit to 100%. So honestly, I can't really say that pregnancy is the root of that. Like, does pregnancy, you know, make it a little bit more?
Like pregnancy isn't really what, like, you know, pregnancy is usually a more together moment. Pregnancy usually, you know, gets everybody involved, gets everybody hands on. You know what I'm saying? When the baby gets here, like sometime after the baby gets here, that's when, like, you know, that's when that comes.
And I do feel like I do personally feel like, you know, when you watch your mom be pregnant and things like that, you do become attached to, you know, the baby. Regardless, you become very, very attached. Like, and so for them, I feel like that could have also been like an emotional roller coaster for them as well, because it's like, you know, you're watching your mom just grow every day, just for her to turn around and say, "Oh, this is not ours. This is another." They have like, this is for another mom and another dad, or whatever the case may be. I mean, like I said, I definitely understand like your standpoint of like, you know, doing like, you know, going down the route of surrogacy, but I also know stories about going the route of the other way, and sometimes it's better to do it that way than to do it the other way, because you don't really know what you're getting yourself into doing it the other way. So, you know, I do understand and again, we don't know if people, I'm pretty sure a lot of the times surrogacy is the last route for a lot of couples, because they tried other ways and they tried all these other methods. And honestly, you know, they have other options for women specifically who legitimately cannot have children. You know, they have something called IVF and all these different things, and that's a long process as well, and that does sometimes take an emotional toll. So I mean, I do feel like, you know, surrogacy helps, you know, some, you know, certain women. You know, I would never say, oh well, just go and adopt. Because sometimes you go through this whole thought process of, well, I wanted to be mine. And so, you know, sometimes the mind requires you having to take in other options, but yeah, I mean, I understand, like, as far as her saying it because she likes being pregnant. Now that's different, but like I said, 9 times out of 10, women who are being surrogates are either women who are not in a relationship, or if they are in a relationship and they don't have children. I've never seen surrogates that actually have kids. So, this is a different
Yeah,
perspective.
this is beyond different. Yeah, like first of all, forget everything that we talking about. Sis, you need help. You talking about something? I love to be pregnant. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've heard females say that before. You know what I'm saying? Like they just love that feeling. But I don't know. It's
That there are definitely things that I enjoyed about being pregnant with each individual child, and there's things that I just really didn't like, because again, I didn't really have it where I wasn't throwing up, or I wasn't like this, or I wasn't like that. Like, I went through some different, like, a lot of different things in each individual pregnancy, and of course with Melody, I got sick. I was sick during for that time. So I got sick in the beginning stages of it and everything, and then on top of that, it was different. I was still, we had Judah. I was still breastfeeding. I was doing all those things. So either way, I didn't really know that I was pregnant until I was further along, probably. Like, I don't even know how long I was pregnant for. So, you know, but that's not a story or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there were some things that I did enjoy about it, and things like that, of that, like being pregnant and everything else. I don't know. It's just sometimes it's still kind of like in awe that you carried a human. Like, you had a human in your stomach and you carried it for 9 months. It's like a different experience. Like, you carry a life. But like I said, I just find it a little different because she's a mom and she, it's just different.
well. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you're notified the next time we upload a video. You do not want to miss it. And with that being said, I'm gone. Peace.